You guys, I grew up like really poor, and then I married a man and was even more poor because he couldn't keep a job. And then I got divorced and I was supporting myself. So I moved to the bad side of town and got a studio apartment by myself and lived there for 2 years. Now, fast forward, I live in a house where my master bedroom is the size, is bigger than my studio apartment I lived in 2 years. I'm telling you, don't give up. All I had to do was find a man and sell my body. And now I live in a great house.
I mean, that's a hell of a life plan, isn't it? For people who are out here screaming that they want to be strong and independent, it's very interesting to note that they are more than happy to pair up with a guy who, let's be honest, they don't really love in order to get half his crap or shack up in his house for the time being. Now, I've got nothing against this lady in particular, but the concerning part about this is we have a lot of men walking around in society right now still thinking that marriage, for instance, is a good idea. The last video, that we did on this channel, we had a man advocating that you as a guy should be aiming for marriage, and that is one of the highest goods that you can do. If you're dating a lady, your intention should be marriage. Gentlemen, I am here to tell you that that is absolutely not the case. Okay? Marriage is a risk, and relationships to a strong degree are also risks, and you as a guy are going to be on the receiving end of those risks most of the time. But gentlemen, what is going on? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be covering this TikTok compilation here. But before we do, a few announcements. So I made this announcement on the last few videos, and I'm going to make it on this one as well. We have a warning on the channel. For what reason, I don't really know. YouTube just decided to warn me, not tell me why, but I've heard that they start issuing strikes after the warning. So if you see me not post for a week or two, that is why. It's because they've, not allowed me to post. So guys, if you want to kind of stay in the loop, I would suggest that you either A, get in the Discord, B, join the Patreon. That's not necessary. That's not necessary, of course, because that's a supporter type thing. But joining the Discord is free, guys, and you'll be able to kind of stay in the loop. Fair warning, it is a mess over there. We got a few thousand people in there, so it's an absolute mess. But if you don't want to lose the channel, that's a free way to do it, to kind of stay in touch with announcements and where we end up. The other thing as well is I'm going to be not necessarily just living over there, but I'm going to be migrating a lot of stuff over to locals. So if YouTube does decide to pull the plug on this channel, that'll be a great place for you guys to watch all the content. My intention is to put all the stuff over there for free, so you guys can go over there and watch it. But I'm waiting for the community to get approved before I start showing you guys what we got over there. They haven't approved me yet. I don't know how long that takes, but we're setting up a community for the boys over there. And I think that was all the announcements, so we might just crack. Oh, I have one more announcement actually, and this is probably one that I shouldn't make, but I'm getting a lot of emails at the moment, gentlemen. Please don't make them creepy. Okay, I can't believe I have to say this, but it's gotten to the point where I get some real creepy emails. If this is you, please stop. I know me saying that will probably just be, people will take it as a green light to send more creepy crap. But please understand that I'm a human as well. I'm a human as well, guys. I'm not just an animated character. So, just keep that stuff out of my inboxes, okay, guys? Like, I can't respond to everyone, but when I see stuff like that, it kind of stresses me out, right? But anyway, enough waffling. As Mr. Fish says, we're just going to jump into the video here.
And now I live in a great house.
Be honest, who do you call when you are at your lowest? Who is that one person?
I think I speak for most men when I say this, but not a single soul. Nobody. Because, like most people, I've talked to enough people about my problems to realize that they only care in the moment. And most of the time they don't. They want to seem like they do, so they sit there and they listen to you. But then, something goes wrong, or, you guys get into it, and they throw it in your face, and they make you feel like shit about it when you trusted them when you were low.
It's a bit of a story to talk about here. And this isn't a plug. Over on my Patreon, I have a tier where guys can call up and stuff like that. And it's probably a tier that I'm going to be removing in the near future because I just can't get around to everyone. But I set up that tier so that maybe if people want to ask for advice or stuff like that, or they just wanted to have a chat, that they have kind of access to me. We can have a call over Discord, right? So I set that tier up, and I thought to myself, okay, well, people are going to be calling, asking for my opinion on something. Like, why else would they be calling me specifically? They don't have a real reason to, right? And what I've noticed and what I've come to learn is that a lot of people will call me and they'll tell me these stuff that, what's going on in their life, not necessarily because they want to, they want a solution. A lot of times it's just because nobody listens to them. Like, we've all got phones, man. We've all got computers. I mean, hell, you're watching YouTube right now. And people have never, like, what people want the most is just to feel listened to. You know what I mean? And that's a really sad state of affairs. And I'm not saying that to be egotistical, like, oh, well, I expect people to call me for advice. I'm not saying that at all. If people want to call just to have a chat, I'm totally cool with it. It's just surprising to find out that a lot of people they just need to talk about what's going on in their life. Particularly men who have been through this kind of crap, man. It can be so confusing. Like, some of the clips you're going to see as we continue into this video. If you're a guy and you go through this stuff and you stumble across my channel, you might start to realize that relationships and hell, like, life isn't really what you thought it was. Like, we as guys, we go out there a lot of times with the idea that, everyone's good and people are going to reciprocate the good energy that we put into them. A lot of people just don't have your best interests at heart. And I mean, take that lady at the start of the video, right? It's like, you invite certain people into your life and what they're going to do is mess it up, and you're not going to know up from down. And sometimes the thing that you need the most is just to be able to talk to someone. And that's not something that's generally provided to men a lot of the time, because I don't mean to be a downer when I say this, but a lot of times it's like society really doesn't give a crap about men, particularly if you don't provide anything. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
So, nobody. I don't give a f***. I'm at my lowest right now. I'm at my lowest every day. And you don't see me reaching out to nobody for nothing.
So she and I had been talking on Tinder.
I just want to say that this filter, too realistic. I showered today and I looked at this and I thought that I had makeup on and I didn't realize it. Also, can we use this filter for like crying scenes? Because that would be a hell of a lot easier.
Crying scenes. Now, if you don't know what she's referring to there, she's referring to, hey, when you need to put on those tears for show, hey, could we use this for that? Because it'd be so much easier, right? And the really sad part is we've got a lot of gentlemen out here in long-term relationships, marriages and stuff like that. And what's not really explained to them, because why the hell would anyone... it's so sad that this crap needs to be explained. Okay, but a lot of tears that you guys see out there in society, girls crying and all this stuff, this kind of crap, a lot of the times they're just not real, man. We as men will go out here and we don't like to see people, generally speaking, men do not like to see people in pain. Despite what society may tell you, men are not these evil, awful creatures that are happy just seeing people in pain and crying and stuff like that. Hell, if there's someone crying around the guy, like, most guys are going to try and fix it, see if the person's alright and that kind of crap. But it's gotten to the point where a lot of these tears are straight up crocodile tears. I'll cover videos on this channel and you all in the comments will point out that a lot of times when we see the crying and, oh, where's the man, I've been looking for Mr. Right and I can't find him. The tears that they're giving, I mean, everyone knows, we all watch it together, you all know that the tears are totally fake. But the messed up part is, we've got people out here in relationships and stuff like that, and they don't realize this. And they're going out there under the assumption that, hey, they're being exploited, essentially. There's no real other way to say it. They're just being emotionally manipulated. And this is what I talk about when men get out of relationships and they get out of sticky situations. They don't know up from down, man, because their whole world has been shattered. Like, you think that this girl loved you and the next minute she doesn't, and you realize that all the tears were fake and she was with your best friend or some crap like that. That's a reality right there. Like, that's not something that's out of the realm of possibility for most men. Like, what I just described there is a very real situation for a lot of guys.
Hell of a lot easier.
And we're skipping this because it's questionable.
For quite a long time now, I played all kinds of cards, you guys. Like, all kinds of cards. Like the nerdy card, the cool card, bad card, smart girl card, independent girl card, weak girl card. I don't fucking know. I played everything. My primary goal and my definition of success is dating the richest guy. I'm not saying the cutest, richest guy in the fucking area.
Interesting, very interesting dating aspirations there. There are some words I could say, but it is YouTube. But I will say this. This ties into what we were just talking about, where these people... Let me explain something to you real quick. So if you're someone who's watched my channel for a while, you might notice that relationships and society starts to look a little bit different to you. And one way it might look a little bit different to you, I don't know if this happens for anyone else, but if you go out into society and you look at relationships, and particularly you look at the girl, and a lot of times what you'll notice is the girls are putting on an act for their boyfriend, for their husband, whatever the case may be. And like you watch my content for a while, you can look at a girl and know when she's putting on an act. Okay, and what'll happen is these girls like this will put on the I'm innocent or I'm harmless kind of thing, and you see them with their boyfriend, and whether or not you know story, man, I've seen girls with their boyfriends, and the amount of stories that I know about that girl just do not line up with the personality that she's putting on at all. And I look at the guy and I think, man, you're in over your head here. You don't know what you don't know what she actually is. You don't know the things that she's done. You don't know the people that she's been around with. You think that she's just this loyal, loving little girlfriend, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And that again, that's something that's incredibly common that a lot of men don't realize. Like, when we talk about it over here on this side of the internet, you'll frequently see people in the comments of videos like mine, they'll say, oh, well, why would you buy a car for full price when it's been driven 50 million times? And there's a really valid point behind that. But you get all of these men out here who don't even realize that the girls that they're dating have the mileage. And I'm talking have the real mileage. And they think that they're just like this lovely little housewife that can do no wrong, or this girlfriend, man. I look at these guys and I feel I feel sorry for them, not in a patronizing way. But I also feel straight up embarrassed. Like, if that was me, man, I would just feel so embarrassed, because I would know that there'd be like 10 guys in my area that have, been that quote unquote mileage.
Okay, and let me tell you, it's not the bad card that gets me anywhere. It's not any other card, but it's the innocent card. The innocent, cute girl, like, oh, and I think maybe it has to do with the Asian looks too, but like the kawaii cute. Oh my god. Attracting Jeff Bezos left and right. The bad card, I played it for a long time because I thought it was attracting the guys that I wanted, but no, they're all fucking broke. They're broke and they want an independent bad to pay for them.
The really funny part about that is we talk about this on this channel all the time, and they're so shocked when they come to realize that, hey, men don't like masculine women. Like, all of these girls are just so shocked to find out, wait, you mean to tell me that men don't like it when I'm bossy and I'm a bad bee and all that kind of crap? No, we don't. Men don't want to have a competition in a relationship. I'm sick of seeing, like, hell, even Jordan Peterson said this, right? He's like, you want someone who will challenge you. Like, what? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, no, that's just not the case. And I don't know if you guys can resonate with that at all, what I'm saying here, but as a man, I feel like I don't want to be in a competition when I'm in a relationship. I don't want someone to be there challenging me. Man, I would like a relationship to be something that's, I'm sure maybe a lot of you guys can relate to this or not, but relationships, ideally, for men, would be something that's peaceful. Like, your girl brings some level of tranquility, some serenity, so, but what girls are doing at the moment is they're bringing the complete opposite, expecting men to commit. And then they get really confused when men aren't committing. Like, we're telling you girls what we want. We don't want this masculine, oh yeah, I'm independent, I don't need no man. Like, if you're independent, cool. You don't need to be, I'm independent and I don't need no man. Like, there's a huge difference between, I'm independent and I'm independent and I don't need no man. And I think that is perfectly visible in society at the moment, that very big difference.
Bad pay for them.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't trust females. A bitch text you good night and then text another dude, I can't sleep. I'm going.
True.
Yo, what are you doing tonight?
I mean, nothing if you want to come over.
Not sure of my plan yet. I'll let you know.
Okay, just let me know.
Chilling at home right now.
Oh, cool. Wanna come over and watch a movie now?
I'm actually busy right now. I can't.
But you're the one that asked me what I'm doing tonight, and just let me know that you're home.
Yeah, that was 2 o'clock me. It's 11 p.m. me now. So bedtime it is.
When we talk about on this channel, I've mentioned it quite a lot of times at this point, but girls will do this thing where you better believe that they have. Let me just skip it so we're looking at something. They've got like the bunch of guys that they message for attention. And I'm going to lowball it here, very lowball it, and call it, let's just say 5 guys, right? You know, they've got the 5 guys that they'll message for attention, and they'll have no intention of meeting up with those guys or anything. They'll just kind of like dangle the fact that they might be interested in the guy in front of them, just so that they can kind of milk the men for attention. So they've got that group of guys in their DMs, and they're the ones that they'll just use for attention and conversations, and nothing ever really will happen in the relationship. That's the first thing you've got. Then you've got the next one, which is like I would call this. It's like a step above, where girls will have a few guys where they will feel comfortable taking you out to lunch because you're kind of like a trophy. So let me give you an example. Let's just say you're a good-looking guy and you're tall or something like that, but she's in a relationship. Sometimes what she'll do is you'll be like the lunch guy that she can go to like functions or dinner and stuff like that with, and brush it off as a friend kind of thing, just to show to other people around her in the environment that she's valuable. So that's another thing that the girls will have guys for. And then like the one above that is the guy that she'll have over at 2 a.m. for some fun. You see what I'm saying? And all the guys below that think that, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to get her attention. This is why I tell you, please don't be wasting your time texting, having long conversations and crap like that. I don't care. Like, if you think that you're getting to know her, man, I don't care if you think like, oh yeah, you're building an emotional connection. Let me be the first to tell you that's not happening. Oftentimes, like, the more you text these girls, the more you show your investment, you're committed, and the more you validate them, give them free attention. What you're really showing them is, hey, she doesn't have to do crap for you. She already knows that she's got you wrapped around her finger, so why the hell would she do anything for you? And this is something that happens in long-term relationships a lot of the time, and this is the dynamic that we talk about a lot, where men will be in these types of relationships and think to themselves, well, I'm trying so hard. And that's the thing, it's because they're trying so hard to please the girl that the girl is kind of running away, because she knows that she has you. Why the hell would she put in any effort? That's a really sad truth, guys, but that's just the way it is, unfortunately. And, you know, when we talk about stuff like that, you'll notice that love doesn't really enter into the equation a lot of times, despite the fact that society will tell you that it's supposed to.
Today I learned the average person has about 8 sexual partners in their lifetime. I also learned that I'm a
Hiya, baby. Hey, babe, put that dress.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, just skip over this one.
Are all aware I've been getting repeatedly harassed.
So I went through a bunch of your videos, and you have a bunch of videos where you're calling people out. You're basically telling them that they're ignorant or stupid. You talk about how great you are in a lot of your videos. I'm this great person with this great ability to know everything about everything that's in my field. That's called arrogance. Next, you doxed a couple of people, okay? And then you put all that up on your page.
I don't mean to pause it here. I'd rather let him finish, but a really important note I want to make is doxing people is, if you don't know what that is, gentlemen, it's basically when people will reveal. So let's just say someone doxed me. What that means is they've given away my address and my identity and stuff like that against my will. So basically they're removing their privacy involuntarily from someone, and that's what doxing means. And to me, man, that's one of the worst things that you can do to someone, because privacy is something in today's day and age that is very quickly slipping away. I mean, if any of you follow Better Bachelor and stuff like that over on his locals account, I mean, he was talking about the other day how Apple is looking to include some more tracing on your phone, shall we say. And, privacy is something that's very hard to come by. So he's describing some very serious transgressions this lady has done.
And then when somebody does the same thing to you, you're surprised? All of a sudden you're this elitist protected person. That doesn't sit well. It doesn't work that way. It goes both ways. If you want to attack other people will attack you.
And that's a fair point. And, kudos to this man for having some common sense and some logic, which is absolutely fantastic to see. But what is equally as non-fantastic to see is the fact that logic and common sense, gentlemen, that kind of stuff is on its way out. You think that when we have discussions on this channel, you think that the people... You might like my content. You might think, oh yeah, well he makes some sense here. He makes some points here, or he's wrong over here. What you're doing is you're kind of shifting through my video using common sense, and that's what I hope you guys do. I hope you guys make your judgment. If you think I'm full of crap, that's totally fine. But I'd like you to use common sense. But if you go out into society at the moment and you want to use common sense, I mean, good luck to you, man. The amount of mess that's out there in society at the moment is really quite disgusting. And I've hammered this point home a few times on the channel. But the real concern I have is like, look, we've got men going through this situation. We've also got women going through this situation who are, finding it difficult to get a partner and stuff like that. And they've been lied to by womanism as well. Okay, everyone's kind of suffering in the dating market. But I just want to really bring it home to the fact that we got another generation that's going to go through this crap. And I really hope that they don't have it as rough as men currently do. That's my hope. And at the moment, it's looking kind of dark. We got a lot of channels on this side of the internet, and hopefully we're making some headway. But what you've got to realize is, like, there's going to be a hell of a lot of kids at the moment growing up in broken families. And I don't know about you guys, but that's particularly stressful to me. Because the kids are the ones, like, I can make videos like this and we can have a discussion together and we can talk about, okay, well, what can we do as a man to kind of circumnavigate these problems? But you want to talk like that to kids just don't have a chance if they're in the wrong environment, if you see what I'm saying. So I don't know, guys, like, that's something that particularly stresses me, particularly as common sense is just on its way out. But we're going to wrap up with this final clip here and then kind of end off the video, guys.
Who has the nicest body? Who is the funniest? Who does your mom like the most? Who has cheated on you? Who was the biggest liar? Who was the best kisser?
How much is so
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the way it is. We've talked on this channel before about imprinting, gentlemen. If you don't know what that is, I'd encourage you to do some more research on it. There are channels like mine that talk about it, but a lot of girls going around out here, and part of the problem with having high mileage, shall we say, is these girls are still emotionally invested in their ex. Like, you think that you have a girlfriend who's loyal to you and that kind of stuff. Please believe that she's out there thinking about the last guy that she was with and how he's more exciting a lot of times. Because what'll happen is girls' emotions will still be attached to the guy that typically, and this is really sad, but typically treated them the most like crap, or typically treated them the most like she was an option, and she's going to still be pining for that guy. And this is how you end up with situations like monkey branching and stuff like that. And this is why, as a guy, if you want to have a girlfriend, you want to have a long-term relationship, there should be no exes of hers in the picture at all. That is a huge red flag and a huge danger, to be quite honest. But gentlemen, we're going to leave today's episode there. As always, leave your comments and thoughts below. If you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to do so. That is why the comments are there. And we're going to wrap up today's episode by, just rehashing the announcement. I'll be trying to move a lot of stuff over to locals, so that if YouTube does decide to just yeet this channel, we can kind of have that over there for free for you guys. What else did I have to say? If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe on your way out. And if you'd like to support the channel, the link to the Patreon is below the video somewhere. So if you're looking to become a supporter, that's a fantastic way to do it. Make sure you join the Discord, and we're going to leave it there. So as always, take care of yourselves, gentlemen, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.